forever. It got the whole way to the very end, and then it said it did not have enough memory for it to make the video. So now I got to wait until after the show or maybe tomorrow, make some room and finish that video. It's all ready to go. I just needed to get it rendered and put up. So
I know, and that's something when you go to. I've tried to get certain things going. Well, there was a video I was doing on the Xbox. One of the games I was playing on the Xbox. Which one was it? I think it's that. Oh shoot, my memory's getting bad. And then, anyway, I was working on a video, and then I found out there was no audio, no explanation for it. All the buttons were clicked. Everything. It's just one of those things. If something can happen, it happens. And I went back and shot it again, and then I had the video mix wrong, so the game was much louder than me. So I just shut it down and said I'm going to shoot it the next day. It was that game that came out just the other day. There was, it was that Space. I think it's Space Trucker. Space Trucker.
okay.
Xbox is. I'll tell you what. I think they're trying to get their way out of trouble. You know, they raised their price on their online service, and they've been getting hammered for it pretty bad. But they promised they were raising it this month. They promised they were going to start putting more games on there. Well, they have put a ton of games on there, and so it's user's choice. I fortunately, my kids got for my birthday got me some gift cards for the 3-month subscription of Game Pass before the price went up. And if you buy them, it's like 3 months was like $16 a month. It's $16 a month. 16 is 32. 16 is, help me out, 48. And Sam's was selling a $3 gift card, a 3-month gift card for $42.
Oh, nice.
And it's going up to $20 a month, starting the 18th, I believe, of this month. But they said they'd let you stack them. So my kids bought me some. I went and got some. And now I'm proud to say that I'm good till January of 2026.
Oh, nice.
Well, I just figured, if I'm not, I got a year and 3 more months left here, 1 month into January. So I got 17 months, 16, 17 months worth. And then if I decide to scrap the whole thing, I'll do it then.
Oh, sorry. I'm reading Mike's messages here coming across my phone.
Oh, it's okay. I thought maybe
he's having some technical difficulties, I guess.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe I had a bug hanging. Let's see.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, you talk about that. I used to do that with PlayStation Plus, and they used to put those on sale on Black Friday. So I talked my brother and my buddy into it. We would stock up on the PlayStation Plus card, and I was the same way. At one point, I was good for like a year and a half, and that actually worked out perfect because in there somewhere we got laid off for a while. So I wasn't having the money come in. I was glad I had all that PlayStation Plus built up,
Now, is that do you find that satisfactory? The PlayStation version?
I mostly just use it so that I can play online, but they have a lot of cool games, free games each month. And now they have it tiered for the last few years. Like if you're in this way upper tier, you can play all these new games right now and this and that. If you're in another tier, it drops so many of those games, but you can play these. But no matter what tier you're on, you get the games of the month, usually 2 or 3 games or whatever, for free. And as long as you add them to your library, then they're yours the whole time you have Plus. So you don't have to actually download it, but add it to your library, then play it when you're ready.
Right. Yeah. And Mike, here's Mike, and I got to tell you, I'm going to wait till Mike gets in here. Oh. I've had such a day. When you said you were going back to check Mike's chat, I went back to check it too. And I just realized, thank you, Bart, for sending I'm having trouble getting this set up with some stuff going on around here. And I kept thinking, then I looked and I said, hell, I never sent the link.
Oh.
Yes, I didn't even notice at first until it said you went live, and I was in here setting up, and I'm like, "Oh, he went live." I'm looking for the link, and I saw Bart sent it because I was behind in our messages. I'm behind with messages with my brothers and sister. They were all sending stuff today, and we just, we went out for the afternoon, and then we did grocery shopping and went for ice cream, and then got back, and I'm like, my wife had no charger in her car. I always have a phone charger in mine. I'm like, "Where's your phone charger?" She's like, "I don't have one in here." I'm like, "Oh no." I got home, I'm at like 20 some percent, and I'm trying to render a video at the same time. I'm like, I'm screwed here.
That's horrible. Oh, Mike.
Hey.
Oh, man. Well, I'll tell you what, it can't be a long show for me tonight because I can't sit here, Brett. I'm telling you. I went and had those cortisone shots. I know everybody doesn't want to hear all this, but I went and had those cortisone shots, and the left leg didn't take, evidently. Because, it did at first, but then I put weight on it the other day and I didn't go all the way down. I didn't face plant, but I came close to it. Went back to the doctor. I said, "Okay, I'm ready for the surgery. Let's get this thing scheduled." Because it only takes you 2 or 3 weeks to. And he says, "Well, you got to wait 3 months from the time you had the last shot." I said, "Well, thanks for sharing that with me." So I can't go have the surgery till December 1st. So I'm kind of. I'm telling you right now, it just hurts sitting in a chair. The best thing is to either lay flat or stand up straight with a cane.
Yeah.
So
Well, at least when you get that done in December, at least it'll be during the cold months. So,
and that's true, but the thing that's bothering me now is I'm down, and it's beautiful outside. Cheryl went outside. I'll tell you something that's weird. I've never thought this would happen in captivity. And you'll know what I'm talking about in a minute. I got a pond outside that I put some water turtles in. It's 16 by 8 foot wide, 4 foot deep, and I put goldfish in it. And the goldfish, I bought feeder goldfish, 15 cents a piece. They were little bitty things. Well, they've grown up. People think they're koi. They're big.
right.
Well, Cheryl went out there today to clean the filters in the pond. There's baby goldfish in there.
Oh.
That happened to us with ours last year. And when I went to clean the filter, there was babies stuck to the filter. And I'm like, "Oh, never had babies in there before." I'm trying to pull them off of the filter and save them,
Well, see, that's what I'm worried about is I got a filter in there that's got a pretty good draw. So, but I'm incapacitated, so I'm going to have Travis come back. Actually, Travis was here today. And, well, he redid my TV upstairs. My TV had, the TV and the TV stand below it. TV's hanging on the wall. And I haven't been able to get downstairs comfortably to play my Xbox. So you may have noticed, whoop, there Mike bleeped out. But so I've been playing on the Raw Galley on the Xbox. Let me put him back in here. Well, he's not totally back yet. We'll see what happens.
Oh.
Nice little symbol there. Oh, there's the icon.
My camera is. Oh, hold on. Let me see if I reset the camera. Yeah, my son put OBS, so now the OBS symbol's popping up.
Yeah, I saw that. Stinking OBS.
Well, Travis came over today, and what he did was he took and rearranged that entertainment center below the TV and brought my Xbox up.
Oh, nice.
Hooked it up in the living room. The only thing that's the problem is the TV, I hung it on the wall, and I put my HDMI cable, when I hung it, this new one I got, I put all my HDMI cables in there and hung it up, and then they were all hanging down. Well, we had to add one, and that HDMI cable was way in there, so I had to release the TV from the mounting bracket and carefully pull it out so it didn't fall. Let him hook it up and go back in. It was nerve-wracking because I thought any minute this TV, I'm going to lose control of it. And it's going to be on the ground. There you go, Mike.
It keeps shutting off for some reason. I don't know why. Hopefully it'll stay on.
Oh, man. Well, we were just talking.
I had that monitor in. I was doing that by myself. And it's not a big monitor, but you're trying to put in the 4 screws by yourself without somebody holding it at an angle, while you're putting the first screw in at least. So I went ahead and installed it, and then I recorded after. Okay, now I put it back in. This is what I did. That's the only way I could do it for my video.
So it's the II Arcade. You put a new screen in, right?
Yeah,
Cool.
turned out really nice.
Posted a message the other day saying how it's a lot better.
Yeah,
Yep.
very nice picture on it.
Yeah, I had a message over Donald H. He's asking, hi, just wondering if you were in, I'm guessing he's in New York or Pennsylvania, PA. But I know I'm in Washington State. Oh, shoot. Did my computer roll? Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you, but
Oh, yeah. I should hardline it. Well, anyways, I'm in Washington State. And then the other two, I'll let them mention where they're from.
I'm close. So is he saying he's in York, PA then? So
York,
he's out
PA.
on the eastern side. I'm western PA. I'm near Pittsburgh. So.
Okay. Nice.
He's a Steeler, and I'm in the state of misery.
Hey, Salty.
Fat boy.
Hey, fat boy. I can't
I apologize.
call him Salty.
I was not catching the chat. I didn't even have it up. I had everything up from the intro. I'm telling you what, I'm a mess tonight. Hollywood Polo, welcome. Po, did you get your beard perm? It looks extra smooth tonight. Ooh. Let's see. Who else we got here? Just wondering. Okay. I'm not good at this as Bart is. Let's see. What's everybody? There's a Fat Boys Gaming and Nonsense.
Hey, I'll be right back, Greg. I'm gonna get my RJ45 cable and hardwire it to my router, so it'll be a faster connection. Be right back.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's our windmiller. There he is.
That's okay. We were all a little late and all came on at different times tonight. So it's been one of those weekends. It's really nice here. Got a lot cooler here. So it's beautiful. But it's getting pretty chilly at night. I like to go out and look at my fish in the pond at night with a flashlight. I'll shine it down in there and I like to see them. And it got so cool last night. They're down there moving, but they're moving real slow at night now.
Welcome. There's Off Grid. Yeah, he says he bailed me out, man. I'm telling you what.
I'm glad you threw that in there, Bert. I didn't get. I saw something come up there that said StreamYard, so I hurried up and clicked on it.
Well, I don't know why StreamYard. I just was having a trouble getting it all set up, getting the links put in, and of course I was late getting down here. And then when I finally got it all done, I kind of took a deep breath, and I knew these fellows were going to be late, so I just thought, well, I'll wait a few minutes. And then I thought, well, I'll go ahead and go live. There might be people waiting. And then, like I said, Poe showed up. He mentioned something about Mike saying something in the comments. That's when I looked back to our text and I said, holy cow, I didn't send the link.
Yeah, it came up across the top of my phone there when he said something. I'm like, uh-oh. Yeah, we all came in at different times. It's all right.
There you
Now,
go.
this has been a big racing week, right? You're racing. Bart's been racing. Those graphics look totally awesome.
I know it. They are. The graphics are great. And yeah, Bart is playing. There's two different ones. The one I've been playing is Bonza, and he's been playing. What's the name of the other one? Mike would know. Gosh. Shows you.
I see it when it comes up on there. Click on it. I don't know the name of it off the top of my head. The one that he's been playing.
But mine popped up. That's going back to the Xbox. There's some of them that you can play without even downloading. You can play them. And I thought I'd experiment with that, and I was surprised. Of course, I got everything hooked up to Ethernet, and it was working pretty good. And did you ever get your Ethernet brought out to the garage? I know you said you had to climb a ladder and do all that.
Yeah, the whole thing was at that point, since I wasn't cleared to be on a ladder, I shouldn't be on a ladder. Gotcha. So, when you're off like that, sometimes the company sends people around to make sure you're not doing stuff you're not supposed to be doing. So
I knew a guy that actually had a job
that's
doing that. He would go around and people that were like wearing a neck brace, and it wasn't really for jobs. It was like people that were suing or getting money from insurance companies.
oh, right.
He'd go get pictures of like the lady that's wearing a neck brace and suing for an accident. They get pictures of her jumping on her trampoline in the backyard or something.
Well, I went to the company doctor Wednesday. I got an all clear from my doctor. So I went to him to see if I could get cleared. I need to go back to work. It's time to go and make some money, you know. And he actually said he needed more paperwork filled out. So I have another paper that I had to actually scan it, PDF, and send it back to my doctor down in Pittsburgh. And surprisingly, I did that Thursday morning. I thought, well, I'm not going to hear back from him once Friday evening came. He actually called me on Saturday. He was working. So he said, I'm working on this paper for you now. I'll get it done as soon as I can and send it back to your company doctor. So I should be going back. Probably not this week because they make the schedule each Thursday, but I'm probably going back next Monday. So, but he actually wants me to practice on a ladder at physical therapy since I got to be on ladders at work. So now, to me, that says I'm all clear because even the physical therapist said, well, if you have a ladder at home, just make sure you have a spotter, go up a few rungs here or there. So maybe I can go up a few rungs and run that cable out to my garage from my laptop.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be climbing any stairs or ladders for a while. I had trouble doing it when I was fine. Oh, but
yeah, I'm just trying to get back now. It's time. Well, it was time before, but they wouldn't let me. I had a few doctors saying no, and so I really asked the one. I'm like, can I please just get a letter that says I can go back? You know, it's been a while.
There's Bart put up a message again. I'm terrible at this. I relied on him so much to do this.
That's it.
Assetto Corsa.
Assetto Corsa.
But he's
doing the Formula One looks really cool. I would love to do that.
Yeah, he was setting up some downloading some NASCAR tracks too. That's one of the reasons when I opened up that Fonza is I did it was because it was Daytona, and like I said in my video, I was born in a hospital that's right behind Turn 3. So.
Oh, that's cool.
Actually going to do some work, Paul? Oh.
Yeah, it's going to be rough because that's very physically demanding job. So I got to make sure I'm on my game, especially going up the 12, 20-foot ladders and stuff. And some of those bricks that we put down at the bottom, you know, they're 2 foot long. They're heavy.
Oh, and you got to carry them up the ladder?
No, well, they send them down in a tray to us. So, okay. But then we got to place them all and make sure everything's level, and we build the whole way up around this thing. And we're in a melt shop too, so I mean it's hot no matter what time of year. Pretty much, you're in there.
I can imagine.
So yeah, definitely. After 6 months of not doing anything like that, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge to start out with. Somebody's out in the back of a motorcycle, it sounds like, revving up out there.
Oh, and I'm not hearing it through your mic.
Yeah, where I'm at, my garage is back away from the house, actually back by my garden. That's why a lot of times when I do my nighttime videos, you'll hear the crickets real loud because they're right here in the garden right next to me. But there, we do have an alley. There's not a lot of houses, but people like to rip their motorcycles and stuff up and down that alley sometimes.
All right. Let's see. Mike's Gaming Gala. It's been a solid snack.
Yeah, I was in one of his intros to his video there.
Oh, okay.
Thursday. Full video was on Thursday. The short for it was on Wednesday. So yeah, old Poe was on it. I mean, not me.
Well, shoot. hope Mike gets back. But so yeah, all I've been doing lately is playing the pinball tournament that we had set up, and I told everybody, I set up another one yesterday, just mainly because I was sitting and couldn't get up to go anywhere, so I just went ahead and set up the tournament. So that's Indiana Jones. It's running for 7 days. It should end next Saturday, so I'll have the results of the show next week. But G Parker's the password. It's on FX3. And anyway, there you go. Something you can look forward to. And then I've been playing those Xbox, besides Gears of War, I've been, that's the one that came out. Mud Runner. That's the one I did today that I had trouble with. I had the original Mud Runner on the Switch, and I played it a few times. Well, we got Mud Runner 3 on the Xbox Game Pass now, and it's included in the package, so I played it, and man, it's a lot tougher. Graphics are great, though. Much better than the one on the Switch, that first one. Yeah, and Bart's graphics on those on that racing, that Kara, God, terrible with that. Anyway, that racing game is graphics good on that. And I was just figuring out how to change the camera angle while I'm recording, because I think Bart had some great camera angles over there. Okay, Bart says, okay, looks like he's got the chat going now. Yeah, he jumped in here on StreamYard and was helping me out, because I'll tell you what, like I said, I grew dependent on him doing that. He's not here tonight. So anyway, thank you, Bart, for jumping in there and taking care of that. And I'll see now if I can manage to hold this together. Oh, shoot. Yeah, I'm terrible at this. Bye, Bart. Oh, he said bye. Yeah, bye, Bart. Thanks for stopping by and helping us get this going. Help me get this going. My God, what a mess. What a mess. Oh, shoot. Mike's still out. I don't know. I wasn't prepared for tonight at all. I confess. I was. I don't know. Like I say, we got to. Do you know if we want to do an arcade challenge or?
Yeah, I hadn't picked one. It should be an arcade challenge this week. And like I said, I didn't look at anything. I was working on that video yesterday of mine, and I was hoping to get it out a few hours before we started the show today, and then things just didn't work out, didn't happen. So I wasn't even thinking about an arcade challenge for the week.
We'll wait till Mike comes back and see if he can. If he's got anything, he may have something set up. May have thought of something. I don't know. What kind of shirt you got on?
Oh, I'm wearing Edward Scissorhand and Beetlejuice.
Oh, have you seen Beetlejuice yet?
No, I wanted to go see it. They had it at our drive-in right down the road here Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I think they have it tonight, too, although certain time of the year they stop doing Sunday nights. And then they'll shut down for the season. Aside for their October, they do a whole bunch of old scary movies. And you can bring a camper or whatever and camp out at the drive-in and watch the old movies all night long. Right. And once in a while, if there's a big blockbuster movie that comes out in the middle of December, they will open it if enough people say they want to go to see it at the drive-in. I haven't gone in December before in the snow and cold, so.
Right.
But then they'll usually open again around April, and they'll start out with another horror weekend, old horror movies and stuff too. So,
this town used to be full of drive-in theaters, just full of them. And I can only think of one that's left, and it's quite a drive from here. It's of course, I'm on the extreme southern part of the Kansas City metro, and it's kind of on the extreme northeastern part. I'm kind of southwest, and it's northeast, and you got to pretty much drive quite a while to get to it. It's the only one I know of that's still open.
Well, it was hard on them, and these ones here too. Now, this one's been around forever. Back in the day when it first opened, was actually cousins of my family back in the 50s or whatever that opened this one, and it was open. I want to say until the 70s, and it shut down for a while. Then they brought it back. Different owners in the early 90s. My wife and I used to go there a lot when we were dating, and then another owner bought it, and they almost had to shut down a little while back because they needed to go to digital, and those digital projectors cost a lot of money. So they had to get a lot of money raised by selling stuff and having GoFundMe's and things like that in order just to stay open to show the new movies. And then they have a lot of problems too with which movies they're allowed to show. You get a hold of somebody like Disney, and Disney says, we'll only let you run this movie if you also run our other movie as part of your double feature. All kind of goofy stuff like that that they run into. Well, and we never stay anymore. When we were dating, we would stay for both movies. But now that we're old, we'll go for the first movie and then leave before the second movie starts.
Well, one thing I attributed to it is the ones that I do remember that were closer to me are now Home Depots and Lowe's. And you think about whoever owned that property, I don't know how much they were making showing movies, selling popcorn, but I bet they made a ton of money. That's a lot of real estate that a drive-in theater takes up, when it becomes urbanized in that part, because that was basically the city limits back then. And now the city limits has moved out further, and it's more urbanized there. But the other thing I can say about it is well, you would have thought drive-in theaters would have been hauling it in during COVID, though.
Yeah, they did a lot of the local high school graduations at our drive-in theater whenever COVID happened. So families would stay in their car and they would watch, everything going on up front. The students come across to get their diplomas and stuff. And then this place, they would do flea markets. I don't know if they still do that, but on the weekends and the mornings. But it used to be that our big local bowling alley, it was there for years right next door to the drive-in. So you could go bowling with your friends on a Friday, go over to the drive-in, come back. But a few years ago, that bowling alley finally went under too. They sold it off to some awning manufacturer. So that kind of stinks.
Was your daughter conceived at one of those?
I'm a good boy. I'm a good boy.
I'm not talking about that.
I remember one time there was something my brother wanted to go see, and he was asking me, he's like, let's go, let's movie to see this or that. I'm like, well, it's cheaper at the drive-in. We can just go there. And then when we're sitting there in my pickup truck watching a movie together, I'm like, dude, this just doesn't look right. Two guys sitting in the cab of the truck watching this movie at the drive-in.
No arm like this?
It's not what you think. We're brothers.
Close. Really close.
There's a guy that I knew when I was in high school. We went to different high schools, but we worked at the same place for a while. And we became friends. And it's funny that he ended up getting on the fire department too, and I still see him at our retirees functions every now and then. And the other day it was brought up. I said, "Do you remember the time we went in high school?" And I said, "What was the name of that gal you took that night?" We double dated to a drive-in, and to get in cheap, we put him and his girlfriend in the trunk. And I'll never forget going around back to start to unlock the trunk to let him out, and he says, "Not yet, not yet." Not yet. I remember my dad getting so upset when I got home because my dad was pretty cool, so I confided in what we did. He says, "You're lucky somebody didn't die." He says, "Have you ever looked underneath that old car? Ours, that whole trunk underneath that trunk is rusted out. I'm surprised it didn't fall out." So that goes back to things you did stupid when you were a kid. Well, Poe and I haven't had much, Mike. I'm going to turn it over to you. Anything you got? Because did you have a game for this week? Otherwise,
oh, you know what? Actually, I was actually working on that. I just didn't have time yesterday. Kind of busy helping the wife. But I do have a video, but I'm just going to wait till next week to give it to you, Greg, so you can upload it. It seems to be better if you have it, and then when you're playing the video, it seems like the audio and video turn out well.
Yeah, because it goes
On your
straight
end.
to StreamYard, and StreamYard broadcasts it, actually holds it and puts it up for us. So there's no having to tweak anything.
Yeah,
Other
exactly.
than the size and length. Just as long as it's not over 10 minutes, I can shrink the size.
All right. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
thinking we should probably if you guys don't mind, I would like to do a pinball challenge. And I want Star Trek, the Stern pinball.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to upload, but it's kind of late, but I can save it for next week. But
So,
yeah,
we,
that's
so we're looking at doing it on the Stern software, right? The Stern.
yeah, so just the normal thing how we do with the arcade challenges, just take a picture of
Okay.
it, do a handstand, have someone hold you upside down, and then that way we know that's you. All kidding aside, you don't need to do that. But no, the normal thing that we usually do, just take a picture of it, and then we'll post the scores, or I'll do it, and then
Okay.
keep track of it.
So we'll put it under side pinball tournaments, which I've already got Indiana Jones going for FX3, and that'll be cool. We'll do something different. So yeah, do
Oh, okay.
Stern. And which one, game is it? Star Wars?
No, Star Trek.
Star Trek.
Yeah.
That reminds me of something like it's Star Trek. Have you guys heard about the movie You Can Call Me Bill?
Is that a William Shatner
Yeah.
documentary or something? No, I haven't watched that yet.
Oh, it was great. It was great. But one of the funny things on that was evidently some award show was giving George Lucas a big award. And in the audience was George Lucas and, Han Solo and Chewbacca, and all the characters were there. And they asked William Shatner to come out and present him with the award.
Oh, nice.
But they wrote up some writers wrote this thing up. It was all supposed to be like a joke. He came out and started talking about Star Trek. And then
Yeah.
you can hear the music kind of comes up and somebody hollers from the audience, Bill, wrong show, Star Trek. Star Wars. He goes, oh my goodness. He says, oh my goodness. And he says, George Lucas is in the audience. He goes, and I think that's where they got the title for the movie. He says, George Lucas in the audience. He says, George, how are you? And he says, can I call you George? And Lucas kind of looks at him like acting like he's a little irritated. He goes, sure you can. He says, well, that's good because you can call me Mr. Shatner.
Mr. Shatner.
So I don't want to ruin any more of it for you, but I really, and my wife enjoyed it because she was a Star Trek fan. And I'll tell you what, it's put together very well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll enjoy that. So,
Well, I kind of seen Ballistic is a next generation era. I'm kind of curious about everybody else. I know I'm probably OG. I grew up with the original Star Trek with Kirk, but I did watch the next generation too. I like that as well, but I just kind of prefer the old one.
Yeah, I like the old one. Now the was that one with the Picard was the new one.
Picard.
Right?
Yep.
See, there was a guy I worked with that I swear, bald-headed. He'd been bald-headed since he was 20. But he had this, slender, tall, but he looked like Picard. And everybody, you see him walk by, you go, John Luke. Or, you say, they'll call him Captain, But yeah, that was I liked both of them as well, but I did like the original. And they were showing clips of the first ones, the very first season. There was some really put it mildly, kick-ass stuff on there that I really liked.
Oh yeah.
It looks like good night, Mike. Mike Gaming Gal. Looks like it's dinner time for him.
Nice. What are you having for dinner, Mike?
8
Sorry,
o'clock dinner time, you youngsters.
Is it moose?
Oh boy, this handling the chat, it's like chewing gum and talking and walking at the same time. It's kind of good. But anyway,
cool.
no. So Yeah, so I highly recommend it. I mean, it's them talking to him, somebody interviewing him, and then showing clips in between, and it's really kind of interesting. I wonder if Sulu's watched it.
Sue?
George Takei or what Takei, whatever.
Oh,
his
George
Takai.
Takai.
name. He just
Takai.
yeah, he
Oh my.
he just he hates Shatner. He's
Yeah. Oh, he can't stand him. Yeah.
But I've seen Shatner even say, "I've tried to make peace with the guy and everything. He don't want it. He don't want any part of it. He don't want anything to do with it." I don't know.
Yeah, I
Well,
guess it sounded like, at least according to George, he would be talked down to all the time on the set. Georgie, he'd call him Georgie all the time. And
Yeah, well, who knows? That stuff may happen, but hell, I could tell you. I mean, when I worked on the fire department, there was a hiring freeze from the time I got hired for about 5 years. So, for the first, usually the first year or two, you were kind of like the bathroom cleaner, but then finally, after you got a little time on, some younger kids came on, and you got to pass that on. But I was 5 years at the bottom of the totem pole. I think I must have scrubbed toilets for the first 8 years of my career, and took the grunt of the jokes and everything. So I don't know. I think that happens everywhere, just in Hollywood too.
yeah, this poor guy, where I worked when I started at the steel mill, they hadn't hired people in years and years and years. So this operation that they put a bunch of us on, this new operation, he had been there for 14 years as the lowest guy. And then we all came in, and a bunch of guys were retiring. We all moved right up to different positions, and he's flipping out. It would take a guy 10 years to get that spot that you're in. I'm like, luck of the draw, dude. I mean, the mill didn't hire for 10 years or whatever.
Yeah.
It's not our fault coming in here,
Yeah.
They see Ballistic Cowboys, Ballistic Coffee.
Oh, I like that one better. Ballistic Cowboy.
I'll tell you what, I'm not in any kind of rhythm tonight. Matter of fact, my leg is killing me. But I wanted to meet Shatner before I die or before he does. Yeah, he's 90. When he went up in the Blue Origin space capsule, he was 90. And that's been 2 or 3 years ago. So he's into his 90s. But this show, again, I don't want to ruin it. He's still horseback riding. He loves horses. He's out, in his 90s, out horseback riding.
Well, he's got his own YouTube channel too, where he sings like karaoke.
Yeah.
So if you want to listen to Shatner sing, he's got his own. I think I subscribed to it. He's got like horses in the background. It's pretty hilarious. But yeah, Ballistic. I got to see Shatner. What was it, like last year? I went to Fan Expo, which was formerly Wizard World. So my son got a picture with him because he's a big time fan. He's just 14 because we used to watch the old Star Trek here in the movie/game room. But what's kind of bad though, he had the plexiglass, right? So I, still afraid of COVID, I guess, but he had that plexiglass in front of him. So that always annoyed me on the picture from that. So I actually took it to a guy who does our photos. And I said, hey, I want this photoshopped out, and I want Shatner, my son, and my wife to be a little bit more closer. Usually with the normal pics that you would get with a celebrity.
Sure.
So that's what he ended up doing. We have the original. So that way it looks a lot normal. It's hanging over there in the other side of the room. And then, of course, I got to meet him like 5 or 6 years ago or something. And I got to stand right next to him and stuff and put my hand on his shoulder. That was actually pretty cool. Me and him had a picture together. So yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too when I saw him, going to the conventions. I definitely want to go see him before, he goes to the big starship up in heaven. So
yeah.
I want to see Shatner because I grew up watching his show. I mean, when I was a kid. So definitely worth it.
I'm going to look up something here. I'm still here, but I'm not viewing the screen right now. So keep an eye out. You can see the chat, Mike, can you? And read off anybody. So let me see if I can find this picture. I have one picture that I'm kind of, I'll have it next week. Cheryl and I got our picture taken with Leonard Skinner.
Oh, cool.
And that was kind of exciting. A local DJ who I'm surprised. I can't help myself sometimes around. I'm not a very starstruck celebrity guy. Maybe with Shatner, I'd probably be pretty respectful, but this is a local DJ. Who cares?
Yeah.
And he put on a motorcycle ride. He was going to see the Leonard Skinner. He was going to go see Leonard Skinner, and he said, got on the radio that morning, and I heard him say, anybody that wants to meet me at this big Harley Davidson dealership an hour and a half before the concert, I'm going to lead a ride down there, because he had a Harley. He says,
oh, cool.
you can ride down with me, and I'll get free parking for all of us, and we'll go into the show together. Well, I showed up there, and I'd never seen this guy, but this guy did. He had a face for radio. I mean, and it's no talent. That's why he wasn't on TV, obviously. And
Yeah.
I just couldn't help it. I just went up to him and I said, "So are you so and so?" And he goes, "Yeah." And I said, "Man, they are right. You got a face for radio." But then he had a drawing for a prize and had everybody put their name in it, and Cheryl's name got drawn.
Oh,
and
cool.
He says, "Okay, you're going to get a backstage pass to meet Skinner." So that's
Oh, nice.
So he called her up there and he asked for her phone number. This is kind of a weird story. So he leads the ride up there, and he's a terrible motorcycle rider. I mean, he's just horrible. I thought he was going to die a couple times on the way there. I'm thinking, I'm following this guy. Well, we got to the theater. It's an open air theater we got to. And he pulled up the parking gate, and you could see him arguing with the guy, because he told him, he said, I'm so-and-so, and I get free parking with all these people here. And the guy told him, "I don't give a shit who you are. You're not getting no free parking." So we had to sit there for like 20 minutes till he sorted that all out.
Oh, boy.
So then we get in there, and I'd completely forgot about Cheryl getting the backstage thing. So Cheryl's phone rings, and it says disc jockey. And he goes, "Is this Cheryl?" And he goes, "Yeah." And he goes, "Hey, meet me down by the front of the theater. I'm going to take you backstage."
Ooh.
And she says, "Okay." And she goes, she kind of sat and thought. She says, "He didn't say anything about bringing you." And I said, "Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going." And when I got there, he looked a little shocked. And I said, I kind of looked at him like, because he ain't that big a guy either. I looked at him and I said, "I assume that I'm welcome to come back too."
Yeah.
And she looked at him and says, "Well, if he ain't coming, I ain't going." And
Yeah.
so kind of burst his little bubble, because and the only other thing that he did on the way back there, and I thought this was in poor taste, and I make terrible jokes, but he said, as we were walking through the door to go back to the backstage, he says, "No airplane jokes."
No airplane jokes.
Well, Skinner and they all died in an airplane crash.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he said no airplane, because see the guy that I'll show you the picture of, it's actually the original Skinner's cousin or brother or something. So yeah, the original Skinner all died, but they were good. They were good, and
Yeah.
they still perform as Leonard Skinner. So anyway, it was interesting. But that's the only other thing I'll say about it is they gave you a photo op. I walked in there, and they take a picture with you, and the head guy for Skinner, shook my hand. He started talking to me, and this aide of the guy, move, time to go, no talking. And it looked like it kind of pissed him off, the guy with the band. He's like, "Yeah, I'm talking to this guy." "Nope,
Yeah.
keep moving. So it wasn't like a meet and greet with Skinner. It was like, stand up there, smile, get your picture taken, and get the hell out of here.
Yeah. Yeah, I had that happen with me when I went to when it was Wizard World, when I went to go see The Miz from WWE, and I know he's a heel in wrestling, and what was really cool. So I bought the VIP, and he was there just to help out the kids from what was that reality show, The Real World. So they were there, and he was just there to help promote them as well as his wrestling thing. So I remember being in line, and I wanted to have the autograph signed by him, his picture, which I have in the arcade room. But I remember going through there, and I also had it's a poster, so you get that, if you pay for the VIP. So I remember, well, I only have, you can only have one thing signed, and so, well, I want the picture of him, and then I'll just hang on to the poster. So while I'm going through here, the guy, of course, he's like, "Which one you want signed?" I go, "This one," and then he puts it on the table and he pushes it to Miz, and then of course when Miz sees me, I'm dressed up in his T-shirt, so it says like, "Hello, I'm awesome." His T-shirt that I used to wear in WWE, and then he looks at me, he's like, "Hey," and he's like, he signs it, and then he sees my poster and says, "Oh, did you want me to sign that as well?" And I said, "Oh, I didn't pay for it." And then the guy's like, "Yeah, he only paid for this one." And then he kind of looks at him, the guy that's moving all the gear towards him to sign, and he's like, "Oh, excuse me, I'm going to sign this." He's like, "I don't care," and he grabs my poster, signs it. I'm like, "Oh, that's so cool." So he's like, "Yeah, he's my fan. I'm going to sign that. He doesn't need to pay extra."
That's
So,
cool.
Yeah, he
That was
went,
decent.
yeah, for being a bad guy, I just kind of gave him a look like, "No, this guy's my guy." He's like, "No, we're going to sign it for him." So. But typically, no, that's not a no. If you only have one thing for them to sign, that's it.
Right.
Yeah, when the Chiefs
Yeah,
won,
and there's certain ones you can't take pictures at all at their tables. When Adam West was here with Burt Ward,
Yeah,
that was a no-no. You better not even have your phone up in the air. When he was sitting at the table, you had to pay for those pro pictures later on. And my son was pretty young at the time. He just happened to, he sat down in the chair next to Adam West to tie his shoe. He's tying his shoe like, I don't know who this old man is. And I'm like, whoops. Hurry up and grab a little side picture. Yeah, there's my boy hanging out with Adam West.
Oh, that's so awesome. Well, yeah, that it helps if you have like a little kid too. I remember in one of the conventions we went to, the voice actress for Rogue for X-Men, the cartoon.
Yeah.
So she was there. I was getting her autograph signed, and of course, when she seen my son, and I just asked her. I go, "He's really wanting photo, one of the, because they have like the photos for them to sign. It's like, we don't need to get signed. Can he have one?" Because I paid for this one on another booth, right? So it was more a different one than the ones they had there. And she's like, "Yeah, he can have one." So when he grabbed one, right, we're moving through the line. And of course, I got mine signed, and then, and then she looks at my son. He's like, "Would you like yours signed too, young man?" And he said, "Yes, please." And he's like, "Oh, such good manners." And then, of course, she signed it for him as well. But yeah, I remember when I bring them to conventions, like all the celebrities we encountered, especially if you have kids, they'll sign it for them. Like another one was Matt Smith, who played Doctor Who, the 11th Doctor. When we got VIP, me and my wife went to go see him, and I had my son dressed up as the Doctor. He had the sonic screwdriver and the bow tie, and then he really liked that. And then he said, "Can I get I need to get a selfie with your son." So he actually got a picture with my son over there, and he's like, "If you guys want to, you can take a picture." He's like, and because his people that are next to him, he's like, "Oh, they didn't pay." He's like, No, I want it." He's like, "Go ahead," because I had a selfie with him. It's only right. So, yeah, we got a picture with him and Doctor Who.
That's nice.
Those rules, I don't know this for a fact, but sometimes I don't wonder if the celebrity doesn't have any control over that. It may not be the celebrity that doesn't want it. It may be his promoter or his manager who's saying, "No, you're not doing this for free because I want my cut."
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
but it's funny when they say no, it's going to happen. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Even if they give them that look, like, "Oh, okay, I thought you didn't want us to have them signed." But if they particularly want to do something for someone, they're going to do it. I've never seen anybody back off on it. Yeah.
When I'm avoiding you and Poe's YouTube channel, I watch a lot of shorts, and there was a cool one the other day. It was a young kid, probably 7, 8 years old, and it showed Shaq standing in an event, and he had what do you call it? One of those barriers up, like just a little thin barrier though, hooked to a pole, and a security guard standing inside there with him, and this little kid snuck underneath the thing and went up, and Shaq's so big, he just gave his leg a hug, right? And, the security guard grabbed the kid. Not bad. He didn't hurt him, but he grabbed the kid and kind of said, no, and was kind of scolding
Yeah.
him, you can't be here, and kicked him off. And Shaq grabbed the security guard and said, leave him alone. Let him come back in. So he got a thing. So, there's a, I've seen so much thing about Shaq going out and playing. He showed up at kids playing street basketball. And all of a sudden he pulls up in his car and gets out and grabs the ball and starts playing with them. And they're all like, so I don't know. I think people like that are cool. I've always admired him for doing that kind of stuff. He seems like a pretty stand-up guy.
Yep.
Hey, if you guys can run it for a minute, I'm going to go get my Switch because, again, I was unprepared to show the scores. I promised everybody before we leave tonight that I'd give the scores from last week's pinball challenge. So I'm going to – plus I got to get up and stretch this leg. It's sitting in a chair. As a matter of fact, I'm going to take me completely out because you may hear me scream. I'll be back in a minute.
Oh, all right. Hey, let's get to some questions. I kind of want to answer Ballistic Coffee Boy's question. He said, she talked about Gene so much, I feel like I met him. She showed lots of home videos and interviews of him. Yeah, I wanted to actually touch on that. That was Major Barrett, right? Gene Roddenberry's wife.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I remember her from the old series. She was Nurse Chapel, so... Yep, I liked Nurse Chapel back in the day. So, and then she was the voice of the Enterprise. So anytime they self-destructed the Enterprise, that was her voice and the Next Generation Enterprise. That's one of the things I like about. They used her voice through the series, and I think even the Chris Pine Enterprise, her voice was in there, if I'm not mistaken. So her voice has been consistently used, and I know like that last season of Picard. When they brought back the Enterprise D, her voice, I don't know if it was AI they used or some sound clips, and then they were able to form a sentence. They got permission, I think, from the family, so she was able to be reused for the Enterprise again.
Oh, cool!
Because that was her voice for the D. So yeah, pretty awesome on that.
Yeah, it kind of started with me with I think it was right before the Next Generation came out. Local station here in Pittsburgh. Just started showing a ton of the original series, when I was a teenager. And my one brother was still at home, so every day after school we were watching the original Star Trek, and then on the weekend they end up doing a marathon like all Saturday and Sunday long. Yeah.
Those. Yep. Well, and
they had local DJs that we listened to were hosting it on the Saturdays, and they were funny. They were dressed up, in uniforms and doing stupid stuff. So
yeah. Well, I even record. I used to tape the episodes on the VHS tape. That way I can watch it for later. Because sometimes, during those, what was it? Yeah, they played episode after episode. You'd have to go eat dinner, so you couldn't be in front of the TV, or you had to
go to bed.
Yeah, but I had it all recorded. I asked my aunt, it's like, hey, can I record? Because she usually watched game shows or any of that other stuff, or maybe football came on or whatnot. But it would still, the VCR would record that show, and then it's like, I come back later, I can watch it, when they're on. But yeah, that was
I remember we watched all of those, and then Next Generation came out. So then my brother and I were watching those too until he left for the military.
Yeah.
And I didn't Deep Space Nine. I watched a little, and then I kind of lost track of them all after that. Well, I was older by then and stuff.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, I started watching also. Was it? I know Bliss mentioned Voyager. I did like that one. So yeah, I was actually in the what was it? The Navy when was it Enterprise when that came out? So.
Oh yeah.
When that came out, I'm like, oh, that's cool. They're going back in time before Kirk. So I ended up watching that show, and it said,
that's
not
cool.
not your daddy's Star Trek. And then I'm like watching it. And then there's that shower scene with T'Pol, the female Vulcan. I'm like, what is this? Am I on Skinamax or something? Why are they showing skin on this show? And then I come to find out they kind of changed up the layout and stuff. It's like, oh, okay, this is like a rated R Star Trek,
And I remember my best friend, he lived right off the road from me. He was really into it too, the old Star Trek, so he would watch them too at his place.
Oh.
And I remember going up to his house one day and we're messing around in the kitchen and we were doing one of the overacting Captain Kirk type of fist fight scenes, me and him in the kitchen. And his dad was always the nicest dude in the world. He's down in the basement. We just start fake punching each other. We're throwing ourselves across the room into the walls. We knock shit down. All of a sudden, his dad comes racing up. What the hell are you doing? There was no more of that in there. But that's the same friend. I got the Choose Your Own Adventure Star Trek book, and that was really cool. So I had that, and he said, well, can I borrow that? And I said, yeah, it was a paperback. Yeah. I lent it to him, and now I hadn't seen the thing. He's my best friend. I knew I'd get it back eventually. I hadn't seen it for 2 or 3 months. I go up to his house, and we're playing. I needed to use his bathroom. He's like, yeah, go ahead in. I go in, and there it is, sitting on the toilet tank, all kind of folded back and stuff, and it was a paperback, but it was. And I walked out, and I'm like, Are you reading that when you take a dump? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, go ahead and keep it, dude. I don't even want the thing back now.
When you open up, you got like some great smells coming out of it. It's like, why does it smell so putrid?
Some triples stuck on there.
Yeah. It's like, this is not a Playboy that you stick in.
Yeah, right. Oh, man.
Yeah, speaking of Choose Your Own Adventures, like I never knew they had that. I had like the James Bond one. Did you ever see those? So with Roger Moore, it was like based off of View to a Kill. So I had that Choose Your Own Adventure.
Oh,
I didn't
nice.
know they made Star Trek Choose Your Own Adventure.
Yeah, I had a Star Trek one, and then you talk about James Bond. My brothers were playing like Dungeons and Dragons and role-playing games with their friends. They were a little bit older. Eventually, I wanted to kind of get in with this stuff, so I bought one that was Marvel, which was cool. Make your own superhero, or you could be Spider-Man or whatever. And my brother bought a James Bond one where you made your own spy, And my spy was terrible. He couldn't drive at all. Like I rolled bad for, so I ended up like wrecking a car or a snowmobile and getting killed or something. I'm like, I didn't play that role-playing game ever again after that.
Oh. I made it back. Oh,
did you bring the Switch too, G. Parker? So you got the Switch too, right? To show everybody here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You were ranking up there, weren't you? I started the weekly challenge on the Nintendo NES World Championship this week, but I didn't finish it. So before the end of the week.
Well, now, if you pay close attention to those pictures I put on Discord, it is kind of cool what they've done. When you play in those competitions, it first brings up, you can look back, and if you miss a week, you don't see you don't see your score. You got to get in it every week. But it shows the score where you stand nationally. And I'm 2,000 and something. But then the second score it shows you is where you stand for people that were born the same year as me.
Oh. So
if you look at that picture real close, I'm number 1 out of 2 people. So I beat the other 67-year-old guy.
Nice. Kicked his ass.
Seabass.
Some of the challenges are tough. I mean, I tried that. I started out with that Metroid one, and I haven't played the original Metroid in a while. So I started that challenge, and I just kept falling down, and it would rewind me, and I'd fall down and rewind. I'm like, I'm done. I'm done for now. I'll come back later.
Well, if you notice, they've got some that are easy, normal, hard, master, and then expert, or something along that line. And man, I'm telling you what, those master and expert ones, the Zelda one, man, I'll tell you what, I tried it, and I watched their little video. I watched there's a guy that's doing those for that challenge on YouTube. Can't remember what his name is, but I was watching him, and boy, he was singing right through that thing. And I tried to memorize the patterns that he created and everything. Shoot, man, just like you, I reincarnated.
It gets frustrating, that's for sure. It's a fun game, but yeah, it's all about the frustration.
But
now, there's a new game that was coming out for the Switch called Pizza Tower, I think it is, and I think it's already on Steam. That one looks like a fun game. It looks like, well, what they compare it to is like the old Wario games before Wario just became a party game, So, well, you're the chef and you go into this pizza tower and you're fighting different ingredients and stuff. Looks like a really fun game.
Yeah, that looks cool. I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah, the artwork in it looks cool. And
is it a side scroller? Yeah, it is.
Well, I got I did get. I'm supposed to share this with you guys because Nintendo sent this to the show as a group. I didn't get a chance to tell you guys, but they did send us a Switch 2. We're talking nice about them. I got it first. So anyway, I'm not allowed to show it to you though. I'll show you real quick. There, that's what it looks like. For anybody believe it. I love these guys. There's some guys on YouTube. I got the latest news on the latest scoop on it. And then that's what it says at the first, and when you start paying attention to it, you're thinking like, okay, clickbait. There you go. We played V12 last week. Off-Grid Arcade, our friend Bart, 5,506,960. Pixeltorium, 3,206,822. Postile, my goodness, third place, 2,541,537. Followed by G Parker, 2,000,000 something, 444,389. Mike CB, 1,599,539. Biolumentoy.
T-Dog.
Okay. 1,264,285. And then G. Parker Ping on the cabinet. I played it on both the Switch and the cabinet. And on the cabinet, that's just the one I used to start it. If you remember last week, I went out the cabinet and started 1,222,387. I tried to cheat. I used to. But for Studios, who says that it's not, every time I play one of these challenges on both of them, I get a better score on the Switch. So I still don't understand. Well, it's not the same. It's not fair to put you in the same tournaments. Well, they're full of crap. I can do better, just as good on this device as I can the others. And this is a Switch 1, actually. It's not even a Switch 2.
Yeah, I forgot that table. I hadn't played it since the last time somebody posted a challenge on it. When was that? Like a year or so ago. So
Same.
playing it again, I'm like, wow, I don't remember much about this table, and I really sucking at it. So I tried it that day, and I finally had a good game, and I'm like, that's it. I'm done.
Well, like I said, this week, the main reason I played on that is because I haven't just been coming down the arcade room, and that's why I thank Travis for coming over today and moving my Xbox upstairs. And so I've got the ROG I can play on, I got the Xbox, and I got the Switch. So, matter of fact, coming down here tonight was quite a chore. Matter of fact, I'm going to try to set up my laptop for next week and maybe do it from upstairs, because I'm telling you what, I live in a house of stairs. And I bought this house when I was 49 years old. If I knew I was going to be still living in it at 68, I would have thought twice before I bought a house that's got.
Yeah, you should have got a ranch style house.
Yeah.
Stairs.
Well,
That's
this
what I
is
got.
a five-level house.
Yeah.
And but my wife, she'd grown up and lived in a ranch style house, and when she saw this one, she fell in love with it. Of course, now when she sees me going up and down the stairs, she says the same thing. I was like, what the heck's going on? But we got to remember now, Mike's at the, you got to get the Stern tables, which you can do that on.
And it's free.
Yeah, you can do that on the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
You can do that on the PC.
PlayStation or the Xbox.
Yes. Yes. And yeah, it's free to download. And I don't think you have to pay. Do you have to pay for that table?
You have to pay for the table. Yeah.
Right. But it's not, but they're not expensive.
I know I have it somewhere. I think on the Switch. I'll have to go check.
Yeah.
How long's your tournament, Greg?
I set it up yesterday and I ran it for 7 days just because I was bored. I was sitting upstairs and I had my Switch in my hand and I said, I'll go ahead and start a tournament for the show because I knew who knows what happened today. And I ran it for 7 days just so it'd be done on Saturday before the show.
Well, do you want us to have it just after that tournament's done? That way, mine will start, and I'll have the video. So probably that would be works
Want to do it
best.
next week? Okay, we'll do it
Yeah,
next week.
yeah. So
And
that way
you'll
we can
have video
focus on
for it?
Indiana Jones. Yeah.
Okay, and we'll just skip doing we'll skip doing an arcade challenge or a
Yeah.
console
Pinball.
challenge.
Pinball
Yeah.
day.
I can find one if you want. I'm going to be messing a lot with the arcade this week, so I'll be down there. So if you guys want an arcade challenge, I'll throw one up on the Discord.
Well,
All right.
I'll tell you what. Why don't you do that? And I'm going to say this to everybody because I know Bart had mentioned this once on the Discord to people. You know that there's a official pinball tournament thing in the Discord, but then there's pinball side challenges. There's arcade challenges. There's console challenges. Anybody that wants to set up a challenge, picks a table or pick a game, post it there in the Discord, and all you got to do is manage it. You know, keep track of the scores and make sure I get the information. Me, Mike, or Poe, or Bart, or somebody gets the information ahead of time, and lets us know. We'll put it on the show. So, you know, we usually look at the Discord. One of us is so. But yeah, if you want to set up something. I saw a new game. Some new games came out for the NES on the Nintendo Online.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember for the life of me the name of the game, but
You were playing Solar Jetman on your short. I watched.
That's it, Solar Jetman. Solar Jetman.
Yeah, that's a fun game. I'm pretty sure I have that cartridge somewhere in the stack.
I'm gonna be honest. I used to own that game before. I think I took.
I probably bought yours.
Yeah, maybe I traded it for. Wanted to get Bill and Ted, so I traded it.
But you know they've come out with some pretty cool games on that one. But you know I was going to look and see if I had that Stern. And doesn't it go by two different names depending on what platform? Isn't it one called Arcade Pinball and the other one's called Stern Pinball?
I think they had two separate ones. I think you're right. Yeah.
But a lot of them have the same tables. And I think as long as you're playing the Stern, Mike, I'll ask you, you're the one going to set it up. We'll start it next week.
Yep.
So, trying to find it. Just as long as you're playing the Stern table and post your score. Okay, here it is on the Switch. It's got the same logo on it that Stern Pinball has, but it says Pinball Arcade.
Pinball Arcade. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm going to look at that and make sure that I've got the Star Wars. Otherwise, I will buy it. But I'm pretty sure I think it's got all of it.
Or you can emulate it, if you can find it.
That's true.
Yeah.
Actually,
I think a bunch of us played that before, didn't we? We didn't do a challenge, I don't think. But did we do it
before?
Okay.
Yeah, you should have it, Greg, because I know you were playing with us on that game.
Yeah, because I think they did something weird with those. Like on one or the other, it was cheaper to buy, or else they did a package deal, but it was ended up cheaper to get these ones instead of just the one table or something.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, if you buy, yeah, they used to have the 3 deal, and I think I picked it up. And I got like Phantom of the Opera.
Yes.
With it. Yeah. That's
I remember you playing that, and I think Bart playing.
Yeah, Phantom's pretty fun too.
Well, I'm looking through here. Doctor Who, El Dorado. I do not. Rescue 911, Wipeout, World Tour.
Last Action Hero.
Bone Busters, Doctor Who. Okay, I do not see Star Trek on there. So this is the one pinball. So let me go back and look for Stern Pinball Arcade because I think I had both versions on here. If not, I got it on the PC. Yeah, it's good that we'll wait a week to start that, Mike, and that way next week we can make some clarifications on where it can be found. Because I know I've got it on the PC because I know I've played. You're right, Mike. We played it.
Yeah, I played it. Yeah, I got it on the computer as well. So I played it on the PC and on my
Okay,
Switch
now this
and
is
my
the
PS5.
same. This is the same logo, but this one says Stern Pinball Arcade. And I'm going to open it up. And yeah, make sure you look for Stern Pinball Arcade. As far as
They also have Whoa Nelly on there.
Oh,
Juicy melons.
gotta get that.
Farsight
They should have a
Studio.
buy one get one free deal.
I only bought one of the melons. The other one wasn't on sale.
The other one will be the Elvira table.
Okay, now how do I get out of this menu? What the heck? It doesn't help being home. Launch challenge. What is it doing this to me? Why are you doing this? Okay. Leaderboard challenges, help and opinions, arm mission. Select a table. Okay, now I see what's going on. AC/DC, Star Trek. Here it is, right here. If you can see that,
Oh, I see it. That's it.
Star
Kind of.
Trek.
I see a reflection. That's it.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just Star Trek Vengeance Premium. Is the name, at least that's what it says, the name of the table if you read the whole thing. It's got some pretty good ones in here. Phantom of the Opera, Ghostbusters,
Ghostbusters, awesome. They
Starship.
got Mustang.
Yeah, the Last Action Hero. Last Action.
Last action.
Yeah.
We even have Harley Davidson there too.
Yeah,
Play that.
I think that was one of those. I think if you have it, you still have it, but they weren't letting you buy it anymore or something. I think.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, which one is it? Because there's one that I wanted and I couldn't get.
Ripley's Believe It or Not.
No,
That
I've
was
got
one
that
of them
one.
there too.
There was one in here that it used to always show up in the main menu, and when you'd go to play it, it'd say game not available.
Mary. Oh, it can't be Mary Shelley's Frankenstein because that's free. Anybody can play that. That's your free game that you get for Stern.
You know what? I'm wondering if I'm going to try to play AC/DC here. I think for some reason.
Just
Yeah.
turn off the music when you stream it.
Yeah, but
They don't
see,
like you putting their music on there.
Right.
I clicked on AC/DC, and it says you do not own it. Do you want to go to the Play Store, Nintendo eShop? So I said, okay. So now I'm going to the eShop, and it's not going to show up.
That's it.
Oh.
Yep. See, it took me to the eShop where all the pinball for Stern Arcade, Pinball Arcade, and it does not show up.
AC/DC?
Yep.
Oh.
So they must have lost their. They must have lost their. What do you call it? They got a.
Their license?
Yeah, their license. Yeah.
Well, I'm
Well-
looking right now through Steam. Let's see if it's available here. And oh, looks like you can pick it up here. AC/DC
Really?
Stern. You just need to buy the Stern Pinball Arcade.
Huh.
This one looks like it's available. They didn't take this one out.
Well, that's
Let's
cool.
see if I go there. Yeah, so you have to go through Steam. Let me see if it'll work. I'm not gonna buy it, but
I wonder if Xbox has it. I might look on Xbox.
oh no. NA. Yeah, they removed it. Not applicable. So if I go to their web, yeah, you can't get it anymore. It's gone.
Everybody see my new hat? My son Travis bought me this hat called the bucket hat, orange camouflage. And he said I put it on. We went to a pumpkin patch the other day, and he couldn't find me.
I usually don't break out the nightmare hat until October, but I figured Beetlejuice started the new movie, Beetlejuice, so I wore my Beetlejuice shirt and Edward Scissorhand. They're on each movie. I figured I'd wear my Freddy hat along with it.
Well, I think we covered about everything. We decided we're not having a tournament, an arcade challenge or a console challenge, except Poe's going to, Poe's going to post something on the Discord tomorrow. So
Off-Grid Arcade said they lost a license years ago. Yes, AC/DC is the one you can't get. Can't get that anymore.
Yeah, let me put that up there. Oh.
He also said, "Whoa, Nelly is best on VPX with the nudie patch."
I don't have that.
Yes, I do have that patch too. That's a matter of fact. That was
I
weird.
like boobs.
When
I play it on Switch, it has Mario and Luigi's faces right over the nips. You can't see.
When I was doing that, all those VPX tables and setting them up, that's when that guy named Nick was the one setting up Pinball Arcade, and he had a Discord, and he was actually pretty nice. He talked to people and stuff, and he did an update on it, and I updated it, and the nudie pack went away. And I wrote him on Discord, and he wrote me right back, and he says, do this, this, and this, it'll reappear. And there's just a thing you click.
Nice.
I think there was an A choice and a regular choice, and the A stood for adults or something. You had to pick a different choice. So anyway, it was pretty cool.
Oh, he also said VPX has nudie patched for Elvira tables too.
What?
It also has the Flintstones. Remember the Flintstones? I played.
I want to see Fred naked. Yabba dabba doo. Gee, Fred, I don't know.
That's something I'll look up for next week. I'll see if I can find that back glass for that one, because it's got to be in here somewhere on my computer, because I have that hooked up here. But I remember I was streaming that and didn't realize that I had that particular back glass on. I wanted to play the and somebody commented on the stream, what is Betty and Wilma doing? Oh.
They didn't shave back in the Stone Age. Saber tooth.
Yeah, that's right. That's what. But anyway, it sounds like we got a lot of cool stuff going on. I'm going to be honest with you. I can leave this setup alone and go, but if you guys want to get into final thoughts, I'm going to have to get up. I'm going to have to get up and go.
Sure.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
I'm hoping. The doctor said he wasn't very. He didn't say it with an uplifting heart. He said it should get better. And before, and I have noticed it is better, but not much.
Well, man, I'm hoping you feel better before that. At least comfortable enough.
Yeah.
Well, the funny thing is, I've been able to sleep okay, which is usually a problem for me. But I've been able to get in just one right position. All of a sudden, I'll feel no pain, and then after feeling pain all day, I'll just fall asleep, and then I'll wake up in the morning and I'll think, I got to go to the restroom. I'll throw my legs over the side of the bed, and I'll go, "Oh my God!"
Oh.
Yeah.
So,
that sucks.
Mike, Mike, take your final thoughts. Talk about your channel. Take as much time as you want. What do you got?
All right. Well, I'm working on Silent Hill 2 still, so I'll be throwing that video. Not soon, but whenever I get done, still working on it. And
nice.
yeah, now I'm also going to PRGE. For those of you who don't know, that's Portland Retro Game Expo.
Oh.
So I'll be staying there for 3 days. Got a hotel there. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it because, and I saw like Sean the Great Gamers going there too. I saw
nice.
he posted, so I might be able to see him over there as well. So
Oh, if
looking
you get,
forward to
get
that.
a chance to, yeah, get a selfie with him. I like.
Oh
Sean.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
If I see
And he
Sean,
does the Nintendo Championships too.
yes. So he might be
Yeah.
in those championships because he had the Tetris one when I went there last year. So maybe he's going to be playing. That'd be cool. So
Yeah,
I'll be
that's
rooting
cool.
him.
That's awesome.
Yep,
Yeah, I
and-
like it. Whenever I'm up late at night and I see that he comes on live, I got to click on it all.
Yeah, I do.
What? And I saw the guests that are coming. So for Yatari guys, Nolan Bushnell's gonna come over.
Oh,
there.
nice.
Yeah, and then I think some of the artists, I'm not sure the programmers or whatnot, but I've seen some of those people coming in. The one I want to get is the was it from the PlayStation 1 Resident Evil game? You know, the what was it, the special edition or whatnot? They had it where they
with a director's
the
cut.
director's cut. Yep. So they had like the FMV characters.
Yeah.
So they're going to be there.
Oh,
some of
that's
the
cool.
Yeah. So I want to get Jill. Definitely want to get Jill and Chris because and I want to get the game so I can have them sign it. So I'm gonna
Nice.
be buying that director's cut. And then I saw who else is going to be there. All the Mortal Kombat characters, like I think Johnny Cage. And then I think Sonya's going to be there, and then Liu Kang, the ones that played on the original Mortal Kombat. They were the actors that did the the poses and stuff and the martial arts movements. So they will be there as well. And then of course, like the normal YouTubers like Metal Jesus Rocks. I seen him, John Hancock, which is funny because he lives in my neck of the woods. And what's funny, I do know him because I've bumped into him. We're in the same town, so pretty interesting. He's going to be there. And then, who else? Pat the Nest Punk. I seen him. Happy Console Gamer. I want to go see him. So I like his channel. So he'll be there as well. So yeah, looking forward to seeing all these guys. I haven't, And I told my wife too. I said, yeah, it's not much celebrities, but it's more of the the video game scene.
Yeah, that's the big one.
Show up. Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, that's about it.
I think I'm skipping Pittsburgh Gaming Expo just because I don't have somebody to go with this year, But I do really want to go because Mark from Classic Game Room was going to be a guest there this year.
Oh.
John Riggs will be back. But Classic Game Room, Mark, he doesn't live far from here. And I love the old Classic Game Rooms, And Mark.
Oh, yeah. I love that
Hilarious.
channel.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't think he's ever done one at the Pittsburgh one before. So
That'll be cool. But I remember you got from John Riggs the Elvira NES game.
yeah, that was
So
cool meeting him.
I'm
Really
going to
cool
ask
guy.
him about that. I go, hey, you made that game for my friend Mr. Postel. Can you make that for me? I'll pay you because I'm looking forward. I'll talk to him. Hopefully, I can talk to him on Saturday and see if I can convince him. Because I'd if I can have him make it for me, then just send it to my house. I'll pay him. They're on the
Yeah,
spot.
that would be awesome.
I want that copy because I'm a big Elvira fan. Yeah,
I
because
had
when I
to
saw
grab
you had that game, it's like, dude, I want that too. So,
Yeah, and I saw him play it one time before, and then when I saw he had them for sale there, I'm like, oh, I want that. I want that. But then he's like one of the first booths, so I ended up like blowing all my pocket money I already had.
nice.
He also gave me a Die Hard for the Turbo Graphics, and you know what? I never even put that thing in. I think it's still sitting over here next to the throne.
You need to do a video on it. I've never seen it before. That would be
that was really cool. He had a bunch of the Turbo Graphic games, different translations and stuff made.
Oh, nice. And I'll see about shooting a video there too. So I know, I like to do the arcades. So what's kind of funny, the arcades that get brought up there and set up are from Ground Control. So the one me and Off Grid went and Kelly. So they'll be bringing the arcade machines there for the people to play, and it's free. So looking forward to that on Friday. Can't wait. Well, that's it for my final thoughts.
That'll be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Your video on that. I wish we had a bigger show here. Ours is still fairly new, really. I think they actually did one before COVID, and then COVID ruined everything after that. So it's kind of like starting over for them. But
Yeah.
it's getting bigger again, you know. And last year, Retro Bliss and Cannabis Kid made their way over, so I got to meet them over there.
Oh, nice.
That was cool. So I might, who knows, if I'm going back to work. Sometimes we do work Saturdays and Sundays. Sometimes we don't. It all depends on what the need is there. Maybe I'll get myself a ticket and go, but it's going to be kind of dull if I'm by myself, I think, you know. My son would have such a good time buying all the handheld games he could find. Oh, I want, you know, that Game Boy game and this game and stuff. And I had a lot of fun doing that with him. So,
Yeah.
and I won't have somebody to hold the camera while I'm playing arcade cabinets and pinball there either. So,
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I have my son doing that. He's a camera person. But I do pay him, like, I'll buy him a game. So it's like, that's
yeah, that's cool.
that's his
There you
payment,
go.
you know. Yeah. You
Good.
get something out of it.
Oh, I'm just working on my video, and hopefully I can get it to render tonight. I'm going to have to make some space and get that one out, and then try to get an arcade challenge video out. And at the same time, I plan on putting the Viper in
Oh,
to the arcade this week. I've had it since Tuesday, so I was just waiting to get that monitor in. So once I do that, that's going to be another video I'm going to do an install on it, and then a separate video of how to load games on it, because they run a little long, these install videos. So yeah, that's hopefully what I'll be up to, and hopefully they told me to get my butt back to work. I can get it all done before then. Get everything finished on there. But and I'm hoping at some point down the road, Off Grid can get a hold of Viper too if he wants one. You know,
Yeah.
hope if everything works well with mine, and I can show him some stuff on there, maybe, because you can play 2-player games on there. Then, you know, the old console games and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
And now we'll be able to use other controllers, Xbox controllers, Bluetooth controllers for the console games on the thing. So I think it's going to be really cool.
Yeah, there's like one particular game I haven't played on that kind of controls. That's 50 caliber. I'd love to play that game on that controls. I did play Guerrilla War. That was awesome on it.
Oh yeah,
Those
yeah.
separate
I've been
controls.
holding back with this thing. He first brought these out last year, and they were limited edition, and they came out in the fall. And I
Oh,
never
nice.
did build mine. I saw, was it Mad Little Pixel or whatever his name? I think he built one of these
Mad
back.
Little Pixel. Yep.
And so I've had it sitting here. It comes with everything in it that you need, and this is actually the box that you're going to use. You know, you'll have the joystick sticking up out of it and the buttons and everything. And I would have got 2, but I knew my son was leaving. And then Glenn did a sale on these like this past spring or late winter, and they were like 30% off. I'm like, oh man, you know, I still haven't built mine yet. I could have got it for cheaper, or I could have bought a second one that time. I was like, if I buy a second one, it's just going to sit here forever. Nobody comes over to play. And if they did, it would be like once or twice a year. I might have my brother over to play or something. So I'm glad I got this one. But yeah,
Oh, that's nice.
yeah, they get all the cool artwork on there and everything. And,
Oh, yeah.
and you can use this with a Pi, but I don't have a Pi, so I was waiting for the Viper just to
Yeah.
use this thing.
That's
And they'll
cool.
also be able to, if I want to, he has that Star Wars yoke that he makes. He makes the replacements for the arcade
Oh,
one.
The controls
Yeah, so-
for it, yeah.
Yeah, so now that I have the Viper, it will work with that. And he makes that, so I could order that too and just kind of put it right there on my control panel.
Yeah.
We'll see. I say we'll
Well,
see. You know,
It's
I'll probably be ordering it for Christmas or something.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
And then, of course, I have to use the echo effect because Mike said Resident Evil, so I was dying to get it in there. Resident Evil. Love those games.
Love
I don't
them.
think
Yeah.
your echo didn't come through. Do it again.
Oh, darn it. Resident Evil.
There you go.
There you go. That worked.
Well, if that's it, Poe,
I had to remember to turn the echo off because it'll still be on there when I do my next video.
Well, don't forget we got the Indiana Jones going on. Poe's going to set up a arcade tournament, and next week we're going to do a Stern pinball Star Trek. So stay tuned for that.
Nice.
I was going to tell you, I went to the Nintendo eShop today, like I said, and I bought. I watched your Castlevania. You showed us that last week, and I went ahead and bought Castlevania because I was always look at the sales because I'm a tight ass, and it was a Castlevania Anniversary Edition. I picked it up for $3.99 today. I did look at that edition you got, but I think they wanted $22, and I said, "Ooh, this one's $3.99." So I did the $3.99.
That might not be a bad arcade challenge for this week, is the Castlevania versus. We'll see how that scores and how that looks. I'll give that a test run.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fun game.
Yeah, because I was playing one on here, and I said the same thing. I said, that looks like it'd be fun, but I didn't see any scoring. I forget which one it was. There's a pack, when you buy that Anniversary Edition, there's not near as many games as you got on your, what do you call that edition you got, Mike?
For which one?
That Castlevania, the edition that you showed us last week.
Oh, something I forgot what that one was.
Doom started with a D.
Yeah, hold on. I'm not.
These nuts.
Dominus Collection.
That's it.
So it's Dominus Collection.
Yeah, pretty cool though. Well, that's all I got, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I'm sorry we were late getting started and things got fiasco, but hey, that's what makes this show interesting.
That's right.
So nobody else has anything. I'm going to run the thing, and I don't know what this one looks like. It's been so long since I did one. See y'all.